Hello there, I'm Hari Zainuddin and you are now watching TVS News at 5. Now let's begin with our top stories for today. Sarawak Medical Innovation and Technology Hub, or SMITH, will be a catalyst for Sarawak's innovative approach of becoming a revolutionary healthcare hub with the manufacture of medical products and equipment as the state's aspiration of becoming a high-income state by 2030.
Sarawak Medical Innovation and Technology Hub, or SMITH in short, is a welcome investment to Sarawak as the pandemic has met us well away on the significant need and demands of the healthcare system worldwide. With many parts of the world manufacturing industries being affected, we notice the gaps in the supply chain and realize Sarawak has a lot to offer. To extend our accessibility and availability becomes an opportunity that we can benefit from.
The revolutionary healthcare hub would manufacture medical supplies as a start before expanding its services in pharmaceuticals.
SMITH is the seed of innovation in becoming a revolutionary healthcare hub, starting with the manufacture of medical products and equipment. The first phase will be the manufacture of medical gloves, the very first facility in East Malaysia. And as the planned progressions, will be more products to be made. We will not limit ourselves as this project aspires to bring in R&D, not only in equipment, but also pharmaceuticals.
Anwar assured that such investment is hand-in-hand with the state's aspiration of achieving the developed state status by 2030.
Sarawak is proud to see such investments in this sector, and with all these efforts from SEDC and its subsidiary SEDC Energy, we are happy to see we are well on our way into our post-COVID-19 development strategy. We see this as a big opportunity into the global supply chain of healthcare and the potential growth of innovations that can be generated exponentially here. Dear distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, I also would like to take this opportunity to commend SEDC for always being ambitious in exploring new and exciting possibilities that could enable and push not only themselves but also Sarawak to greater heights, hoping that we could complement the state's objective to achieve its goal of becoming a developed state by 2030.
Dr. Anwar Rapai said so while representing the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, when officiating the SMITH groundbreaking ceremony at Tanjong Kidurong in Bintulu on Tuesday.
Now, Pfizer's COVID-19 drug, PAXLOVID, the first oral pill specifically developed to treat adults infected with the virus, has been deemed suitable for usage of adults aged 18 and above who do not require supplemental oxygen and who are at increased risk for progressing to severe COVID-19. The pills act to inhibit the growth of the virus in the body. However, the antiviral medicine isn't intended to be used as a replacement for COVID-19 vaccinations.
PAXLOVID ini adalah merupakan sejenis ubat dan ubat ini digunakan dan diberikan hanya kepada mereka yang positif COVID yang mempunyai ciri-ciri untuk menjadi lebih teruk. Jadi PAXLOVID ini hanya akan diberikan kepada pesakit-pesakit tertentu sahaja yang mempunyai kemungkinan untuk menjadi lebih teruk semasa dalam rawatan atau dimasukkan ke hospital dan sebagainya. Perlu diingatkan bahawa PAXLOVID ini bukan sejenis vaksin dan ianya bukan untuk meningkatkan tahap imuniti badan seseorang terhadap COVID-19. Bukan, ia mempunyai fungsi yang berlainan. PAXLOVID ini bertujuan untuk merencatkan pertumbuhan virus di dalam badan seseorang itu dan seterusnya menggalakkan seseorang itu untuk menjadi lebih sihat selepas diberi PAXLOVID ini.
He said so in review of the state government's intention announced by the Minister of Public Health, Housing and Local Government, Dr. Sim Kui Hian, who recently stated the Sarawak government's plan with regards to the COVID-19 drug PAXLOVID. Adding further, he said the characteristics of the medicine have been tested and studied, where the side effects resulting from taking this medicine are very low.
Kalau kita melihat kepada ciri keselamatan PAXLOVID, ianya merupakan sejenis ubat yang selamat untuk digunakan, dan kalau kita melihat kepada kajian yang dilakukan ke atas PAXLOVID ini, kejadian adverse event adalah sangat rendah sekali. Oleh itu ia selamat untuk digunakan.
Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts Minister Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah is the latest high-profile figure infected with the COVID-19 virus, right after receiving the news that the Premier of Sarawak had contracted the virus on Monday. Abdul Karim, who is also the Minister of Youth, Sports and Entrepreneur Development, received his test result, which turned out positive on Monday. Karim has mild symptoms such as the common flu and sore throat, and assured the public that he is doing fine and will continue his home quarantine order following the guidelines set by the Ministry of Health MOH and Sarawak Disaster Management Committee SDMC. On Tuesday, the Office of the Premier of Sarawak confirmed that the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, has been tested positive for the virus and is currently undergoing a 5-day home quarantine order. Other state cabinet ministers who contracted the virus were Deputy Premier Datuk Sri Dr. Sim Kui Hian, announced on February 28, and Deputy Minister in the Premier of Sarawak's Department for Labour, Immigration and Project Monitoring, Datuk Grawat Gala, on March 2nd. Welcome back. Now, a set of Standard Operating Procedures, or SOP, and 9 guidelines will be implemented in the transition to endemic phase, which is to begin on April 1st. Senior Defence Minister Datuk Sri Syamuddin Tun Hussein said it was one of the 7 most important pillars in the phase, especially in the country's efforts to return to a normal life.
Hishamuddin, who is also the chairman of COVID-19 Ministerial Quartet meeting, said, in principle, the SOP contained 10 requirements that had been simplified from 181 requirements under the National Recovery Plan (PPN) SOP and would be enforced under Act 342 from April 1st. The 10 requirements are wearing the face mask when in public, operating hours according to license or permit, maintaining hand hygiene, conducting COVID-19 screening tests based on the national testing strategy, and managing suspected or positive cases according to the Ministry of Health's MOH guidelines. Also, using MySejahtera and MySJ trays for check-in, ensuring physical distancing of 1 meter, ensuring good ventilation system, ensuring the cleanliness of premises, and compliance with vaccination for certain activities. In line with the transition to endemic phase where people will have to learn to live with COVID-19 and prioritize self-discipline, Hishamuddin added that it was important for people to understand the risk of COVID-19 transmission and to adopt preventive measures. As such, he said 9 guidelines had also been formulated to help the people to make a safer choice. Nevertheless, he said the 9 guidelines will not be enforced, but very much encouraged to be adhered to by the public. The 9 guidelines encompass the aspects of transportation and travel, education and care, retail activities, food and beverages, indoor workplace, open work areas, events, functions, entertainment and tourist attractions, hotels and guest accommodations, religious events, weddings, funerals, sports, recreational and leisure activities and facilities. Meanwhile, Hishamuddin said a website is being developed with the cooperation of the National Security Council to make it easier for the public to understand more about the SOP and 9 guidelines. The website is expected to be accessible by mid-March.
As the country is in the midst of transitioning into the endemic phase, the public is reminded to continue adhering to the health standard operating procedures. Public health physician Dr. Norbaizura Jamali warned the people to be more careful and responsible for their own health.
Kalau kita rujuk kepada press statement daripada Perdana Menteri kita semalam ya, I see. 1 April adalah masa kita endemik ya, kita panggil endemik ya, di mana semua SOP tidak dilonggarkan, tetapi beberapa sekatan sebelum ini telah di lift up. Contohnya sekatan kita nak keluar negara atau dari luar negara nak masuk ke Malaysia. So sekatan antarabangsa kita dah longgarkan. Tetapi kalau kita rujuk, dia tetap mengekalkan pelitup muka, face mask kena pakai, social distancing at all time, walaupun kita dah allow majlis keramaian at 100% capacity ya, tapi kita sekarang adalah masa tanggungjawab untuk menjaga kesihatan is to yourself.
She said this during her appearance on Sejahtera Asia program on Wednesday. Additionally, she said there are still members of society that are still complacent, which contributes to the increase in COVID-19 cases and the emergence of new variants.
Kita seperti macam ada certain people lah, not all lupa. Padahal jangkitan ini masih berada di among us. So this jangkitan COVID dengan varian yang semakin lain varian semakin muncul. So kita pun leka sebentar. So peribahkan pun dah menjadi lebih lain lah.
Beginning April 1st, the public will only need to comply with 1 standard operating procedure SOP, which will be enforced under Act 342, which includes 10 requirements. Among the requirements include wearing a face mask when in a public place, operating hours according to license or permit, maintaining hand hygiene, and performing COVID-19 detection tests according to the guidelines of the Ministry of Health Malaysia MOH. In addition, the use of the MySejahtera application and MySJ trays for entry arrival, physical distance of 1 meter, good ventilation systems, cleanliness of premises, and compliance with the vaccination requirement for certain activities.
That concludes the 5 p.m. news. Once again, I'm Hari Zainuddin. been a pleasure.